We're in the U.S. state of Alabama. This is home to some of the most important people and places of the civil rights movement. 18 young women from South Africa and America are about to go on the road trip of a lifetime and relive the moments of tragedy and triumph that redefined this nation.
We meet the brave girls on their first stop, Montgomery. On the street, chatty excitement. But inside the Civil Rights Memorial Center, the mood changes. Seeing the martyrs and heroes of the civil rights movement. The realities of racism and the power of activism come alive on these walls. For Audrey February, born and raised in the townships of Cape Town, this is an eye-opener.
The people that fought for freedom was very brave, and they touched me because many things like that happened here, happened in South Africa as well. I got this perspective of America, that life in America is just so great and nothing bad happens here.
Human rights lawyers at the Equality Justice Initiative explain America's difficult path from racial violence to reconciliation. Here, more than 300 jars of soil collected from sites where Black Americans died from lynchings. At the National Memorial for Peace and Justice, monuments to those victims. A powerful tribute to African Americans hanged in hate and the lives of millions swallowed by slavery. Next stop, Selma, a town whose name is forever etched in American history.
We're here on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, about to retrace the steps of one of the most important moments of the civil rights movement, the historic 1965 march from Selma to Montgomery.
This bridge was the scene of the Bloody Sunday beatings, civil rights activists marching for the right to vote, confronted with deadly violence by local police. The attacks sparked outrage and public support for the passage of the Voting Rights Act. The girls trace the footsteps of brave men and women who dared break through racial barriers.
In South Africa, I think we can relate because apartheid only ended in 1994, and we have a long way to come, and people expect change to be immediate. But if you look at Selma, it's been decades, and they're still trying to create the society that they wish for.
Before it became a beacon of the civil rights movement, Selma was a city of African slaves. Here, the girls are lined up to experience the humiliation of slavery.
From this point on, you will not make eye contact with me. If I catch you looking at me, I will get rid of the person to your right. Nigga, don't roll your eyes no more at me. Drop them. Drop your eyes now.
Ainka Jackson runs the Selma Center for Nonviolence. She takes us on a drive through the city's impoverished neighborhoods. In some ways, this place seems like a memorial of its own to the lasting legacy of racial and economic inequality.
There's such a spirit of hopelessness here in Selma because at one point there was great hope that voting rights would cause us to have economic prosperity. But I believe that part of the reason why Dr. King was killed so that we wouldn't get there.
We are brave girls and no one can defeat us.
Not every moment on this journey is somber. One highlight, soul food and song with today's civil rights activists. An emotional tribute to Africans who came to America in captivity and those who fought for the freedom of future generations.
I think what we can learn from each other now is that the work is not over. There's still work here to do in America, and there's still work to do in South Africa, and that with reconciliation there must be justice.